Hey, what's up, guys? It's the fangirl who waited, Jenny here. Happy New Year, and I hope you guys had, a good holiday if you celebrated. I actually really wanted to make this video before the holiday season started. If you had a rough time with the holidays like I did, but I didn't get a chance to, unfortunately, so I'm making it now. Um, Today we are going to talk about a show called Sorry for Your Loss, starring Elizabeth Olsen. Um, it's actually a Facebook original on Facebook Watch. I was actually very surprised that Facebook is making original content, but I guess everybody wants to kind of jump on that streaming bandwagon. Now, this show, I feel like it's one of the only shows I have ever watched that takes a really human, relatable look at the grieving process and what it's like to lose somebody suddenly and grieve them and all the emotions that you go through. Lee, which is Elizabeth Olsen's character, lost her husband suddenly, and you just kind of go through all these emotions with her, and it's very like it's just like I said, it's very relatable to watch. I can understand might make some of you uncomfortable if you've, depending on how you feel about grief and loss and such. But please look after yourselves and your well-being, obviously. The one thing that they touched on that I really like is that she goes to a grief group once a week, and she's not quite sure how she feels about it, but she makes herself go anyway. And they have donuts every week, and she looks forward to it. And one day she goes, and they decide to switch up the snacks because people were complaining about their sugar, and she just has a meltdown over donuts. And it's something that happens um, when you are going through something like that. Like the idea of always having anger or always being upset. It's something that definitely happens. I know after my mom passed away, I kind of have had all this anger in me, and I don't know where it came from. But then when somebody told me, sometimes pain manifests itself through anger. But it's very relatable to just see her just have a meltdown just because sometimes you just need that one thing to look forward to, and when you don't have it, it's very very hard, and I like that's very relatable too. Sometimes you know if I know I'm going down the street for coffee, sometimes that's the only thing that gets me out of bed on those type of days. The other thing I think nobody really talks about is she ran into her deceased husband's brother at grief council and at the grief group, and they were all kind of they were exchanging stories, and she had mentioned all these people were talking to her and checking up on her after the funeral and after her husband passed away, and then after a few months they just stopped because they were over it and they expected her to just be over it. And I feel like that happens a lot. That definitely happened with me. Um, when my mom first passed away, I kind of just, you know, I didn't get a moment's peace to myself, and it was driving me crazy. And then, all these people I haven't spoken to in ages were just, coming out of the woodwork, and then, everybody just kind of got wrapped up in their own things and just kind of stopped talking about it and stopped checking up. And it's a very very it's a very very weird thing to go through when you're talking to all of these people constantly, and then they want to make sure you're okay, and then a certain amount of time goes by and they're just like, okay, it's fine now, which it's never really fine. But anyway, and I know, don't misunderstand. Like I know people have their own lives, and such. But it's it's still a strange thing to go through. But anyway, um, the other thing is that when Lee was talking to Danny, who's the brother in her car, he tried to say, well, I'm going through a lot worse time than you because you can get another husband. You're young. You'll find somebody else. I can't get another brother, which I kind of hated him at, like, when he said that, even though I know that, he didn't mean it necessarily that way. And that's the other thing too. I think people, try to say, well, that person was this to me and that, but so I'm clearly, more upset than you are because of XYZ. And I think, it's, when you lose someone, you lose somebody. I think each relationship is, each relationship is unique, and you shouldn't try to say, well, my grief is worse than yours because, I was closer, because I don't think that's right. But it was interesting that they brought that up in that way, though. But just please watch this show, because I definitely don't think it's getting enough recognition because it's a Facebook original. And like I said, even if you're not into the social media thing, I urge you to just make an account to watch the show, because, like I said, I don't think I've ever seen a show like this, and it's something I think we really needed. I mean, I know personally it's helped me a lot. The other thing I want to say about the show is I've started it, and I've gotten to, like, the middle of the season. Like, I've done this a few times, and I had to stop because it is very, very relatable. But sometimes, like, I have to be in a certain headspace to watch the show. So I just want to point out that if you can't finish it right away, we're actually on the second season now. But if it takes you a while to finish it, you're not alone. So I just wanted to mention that. But yeah, please watch this show, because I just, like I said, I definitely think, it's something that we haven't seen, touched on so intimately. And, because the thing about TV shows is, like, a character dies, and then, you have the funeral, and then sometimes people mention them every now and again, but that's just it. And there's so much in between that you don't get to see. And, that's what the show is giving us, and I'm so thankful for it. So, if you have also seen the show and you liked it, please let me know down in the comments down below, and just, let me know your feelings on this, and please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time, and take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.